Morning. In this video I will show you how to draw a section based on the or actually the four plans that we drawn before: the ground floor and the first floor, roof, and then the roof of the roof, the top of the roof. And in it I will combine both those four files that I have. They are a separated AutoCAD file. Each file have one drawing. I will combine them all in the fifth or a new file, a new AutoCAD file that I just created, which is the section file. And I'll explain how to draw a section. In the same time, I will show you how to use the XREF technique to combine those files, which will allow you again to let other people continue design on ground floor based on using internet, of course, or shared file on internet, like any cloud system like Dropbox or OneDrive, and you can draw the sections and you see their updates in the same time. So those are ready for being adapted or used in the section file. So create a section file. Make sure here you are using the same units that you used in the plans, and they are just metric system millimeters. So I'm gonna hit OK, just double check. I go to XREF command, and then here attach DWG, and in it I'll just go to videos, and that's my set. So I'm gonna go and select the ground floor and then just hit OK and then click in here. And then if you don't see anything, it's okay, just double click on the scroll or zoom extend. That's your ground. Again, repeat the process 4 times for each plan. That's the first. Roughly place it, and then the roof, and finally the roof of the roof, or the top roof. That's it basically. I got now the 4 plans ready. So again, I'll just move those to align them, to place them in the correct place as such. And by having this, again, it's XREF technique, so I'm going to close that just to show you. So if I have someone else working on this file in a different place on a different computer, and he just make any change in here and he save it, now if I go to the section file, I immediately get notified telling me that someone changed that, and even the name of it. And when you hit reload, you can see that it's actually been updated, which is really cool and help us to manage complicated documents that can be worked or processed by more than one person. Again, I'll go layers, so LA, and I can see with those the grade level layers for the for the file that I just XREF. And the one which is I want to create for this file, the section file, it's going to be like, let's go and name them cut, and I'll just make them green with a default thickness current. And again, you can see that it's have a white color while those have a gray color, just to indicate that those guys are not from this file. You can filter them out and turn off the layers for the the extra file if you don't like it. Anyway, so I'm gonna just draw a line here. Probably I need F8, and in this case you have to follow and trace the section line, of course, wherever it cuts the building. And in the beginning, that's the technique that I use, which is just cut the external shell of the building just to define the external boundary of it. I totally don't advise you to go ahead and turn off, not to trace everything, not to cut everything inside. That's going to be confusing. Just draw the outside of the building as such. That's what you see, the shell without the opening. That's my way of work here. And probably you might notice that the hatch might be getting in your way, so just turn off that. It's okay, it's working. It's easy for you. You can turn off even dimension text if you don't like. It's gonna have less crowding, and same thing here. I see easier for you to pick the lines when you do the projection and draw the section thing. So that's been done. So I have this is on a level of 0, so you can just I can just go ahead quickly and draw some kind of a level indicator. I know it's ugly, so I'm not gonna put some effort on it. It's just for me to you know, knows how much it is, the height, how much the height is actually. So that's 0, 0. I'll offset that to 200 mil down just to make the thickness of the slab. And then in the first floor, the level is 4.5 meter. That means 4,500 millimeter. And I'll just, you know, copy those two lines up and then get them trimmed. And that's my first floor drawn correctly as an external, again, as an external shell of the building, or external part of the building. I don't need to, you know, bother myself and draw every single detail in the section now. It's really not the right thing to be done in my point of view. In my opinion, it's not really required, and just make the work is much harder. So if I go and trace the first floor, I'll notice that it's run exactly on the same external lines, and then it's just simply the parapet here. So that's okay. So another 4,500, if I am not wrong. Yes, that's right. So just offset again 4,500. That's 1. That's 2. You probably push that up another 4,500, making this as a 9. Okay, and 1,000 offset, and then trim that to get yourself having the cut part of the external building. Forget anything you see in elevation, forget even inside, even the inside walls, just forget them. That's the building from outside. I'll continue the outside thing while I'm here, so I'll take the walkway with me here, and probably it's a good idea to finish the fence in the same time. It's minus 100 mil while the garden is minus 300 mil. So again, I'll take that from the 0, 0, and then I'm gonna push it down 100 mil, and then just simply fill it that, and then another line here, and then I'm gonna push that 300 mil, just like that, to get that extended to the end of it. Probably make this 100 or 200 mil, it's up to you. That's probably 100 mil is enough, and it's gonna be ugly like that. No. And I noticed that some of my lines are just dotted. Oh god. Anyway, so it's by layer. Okay, that's why. So the line type is incorrect, so it would be a good opportunity to fix this issue. Yeah, fixed. So again, this line should be 300 mil. Perfect. So I'm gonna push that another 100 mil, and that's basically it. That's my walkway. I know it's too thick, but just too lazy to do it the other way. So that's it. And the fence is just 1,000. So I'm gonna take from the 0, 0 again. Always keep the scale with you. So that's the 0, 0. Push it 1,000 up, because in the fence it's telling it's 1,000. 1,000 from the level of floor finish. So again, I'm gonna just and I can copy those lines down. Let's say another 1,000, and I'm just gonna move that as such, and just got it. I'm not gonna show any kind of footing and anything is detailed here, or the foundation, just a line. I'm just doing a quick architectural presentation of the fence. I'm not going to do the exact if you are a guy who wanna make it really accurate, you can draw that and scale it down. Again, too lazy to do that, which I already did. Anyway, you can do it accurately, but actually care less. It's exactly a first type of presentation for a section, and it could be like as rough as I just draw now. I can just even go there and have the same thing in here, and then extend those. Just to show that there is another wall or a column or whatever just running, depending on the construction. I can just stretch that a little bit, probably. And now I can do the other side of the walkway. Something is flying here. And those represent the fence, so just don't draw it again, please. Use mirror, it's a good command. So that's a happy coincidence here, and just push that aside, and that's it. You get yourself nice mirrored part. So that's again all the section part cut and ready for us. Now that's been done, I'm gonna go inside and then draw the partitions or the inside wall actually cut. Those are my walls. So each one of them is actually have a different, one of them have a door, one of them have an opening, and one of them have a window. So that's the external one. I'm not going to do it. So this guy is not cutting through the door, but I will pretend it's cutting through the door anyway. So just take this, getting rid of those, and offset 2200. So that's my door. Okay, so probably I'll offset a 50, just basic, and rectangle, and then a couple of lines to show the door frame, and you can just go ahead and draw another rectangle on lines, and depend on how much you want to do it. And I'll just check those out and probably create a layer. I'll call it doors and windows, for example, making them as red as possible. Not 0.25, probably 0.15, and make it current. And this guy, again, you're gonna go block it and then say just a door. That's 2200, it's in section. And then you select those objects, and oops, I made a mistake. Have to put them in the correct layer first, and then it actually should be placed in layer 0, and then you put the current door and window and then block them. That's the right thing to be done. Anyway, door it's 2200, and it's drawn in section. So then select those guys and pick the point as a base, and then you're going to turn it red to the layer, to the correct layer that it should. Now that's my door height, door head height. So that's been nothing, just solid cut. I'm pretending I cut this. That's a solid, that's a solid. So the one before the end is just an arc, so we're going to use that. So I'm going to draw a line here. So that's it. And then I'm going to trim those and draw 2 lines as such. And probably it's the time that we need to do an elevation layer. And again, it's 15, I'll make it current. So just select those guys, it's just the arc, and just an arch, and then there's just an opening. Here, it's just the window again. I'm going to make it 1200, so again, and offset this 50 rectangle. I'm gonna move that down and then align, selecting all those and place them in layer 0. And again, shouldn't make that a block, and again it's a window, and it's 1200 as a height, and it's a section. I'm going to select all those with a base and then place that in the correct layer, and that's it. So we have a window, a wall with a window cut, a wall with an opening solid, and then a door, a wall with a door cut in it. That's great. So almost everything. So now I'll just take all those guys with the window probably and push them 4500, because I believe they are almost the same in the first floor. So that's right, that's an opening, that's the wall, this wall is missing, and this door is here, and the wall is here. So just anything in here should be deleted. Beautiful. So here, this guy have to be deleted. So that's all the cut part is drawn. Now I go to the elevation part. So this guy in elevation, this guy in elevation. Alright, now probably we need to see anything has been seen in elevation, like this line for the circle. Should draw it. Also, you should start seeing the windows in elevation. And again, guys, I'm talking about the ground floor again. So some windows in here and a curve in here. Beautiful. So this is a curve, so oops, that's a curve. The rest are just windows, so I'm gonna draw one, starting or depending on what I've drawn here in section, and then probably a rectangle, and maybe that's the time that we need to get rid of all those. Again, offset, and that offset is 50, and then a line, and then depend on how much you want to waste as a time on that. You can make the hinge, and if it's hinge, you can make, a slide, an arrow, just to say the indication. You can block that, and you say it's a window, and it's again because you see X and Y, 1200 as an edge, and then I don't know, 2000 as a width, and then you say just it's an elevation, and then you select it. You should place it in layer 0. I'm too lazy to do that, and that's the base point. Now you take that guy from the base and use F8, of course, don't forget, to distribute it to the the entire plan, then get rid of the guys, the constructional lines that you draw, and then double check that if you have the same opening, which is almost correct. So I have to see 4 windows and 2 lines. It's actually 5. Oh god. Anyway, so 1 2 3 4. So yes, I made a mess here. So should have a window here in the ground before I jump and discover that I forget to draw it. Anyway, so back to it. Now you can go ahead and copy everything in elevation and just push it 4500, which is the height again, to place itself accurately. And then the roof, now you have to go and see everything like this corner. All corners should be shown as a lines again, and that this and the curve, of course. So probably need to extend those guys and then trim them. So that's it. That's what you should see in this section and elevation part of this section. You can go ahead now and draw whatever detail you like. You can just overall making the layer on and have a ceiling, and draw in a different color in a different layer. And go ahead and offset from the fence, from the lower edge of the slab. You can go like 800 maybe, I don't know. Then offset to 50 mil upward, and then you select those guys and place them in the ceiling, and then remove those. Of course, whenever they interact with the partitions, you get yourself a nice representation of the ceiling, or the false ceiling, whatever you want to call it. Push that down by 4,500. That's just a detail. That's the more you add to the section, the more lifelike it gets. Now you can go ahead and add text, for example, or hatch. Hatch is a nice, let's say, and I can go ahead and draw a line here randomly, and then create a layer for a hatch. Make it current, and then just go and etch a space, and then pick the hatch you like. There's one for the sand. Sad sand. Where is it? Not a sand. This one. Yeah, this one. So you can just place that guy. Just rotate it 45. It's really beautiful. It is the hatch for that. Now my laptop is dying, I don't know why. And when you placed it, just after that, remove if the laptop's still alive. Okay, just go ahead and remove that. I'll just hit save. Start to get terrified of my performance, laptop performance. Nice to get that line deleted and get the hatch in a better way. Now you can go ahead and hatch the rest of the architectural elements. So probably we can go here 10, I don't know, 25, 0, 50. Yep, probably. So to give all vertical elements the same indication is really a good idea. Should have deleted that. Yeah, it's wrong, isn't it? Anyway, that's better. So again, hatch and use anything you like for the concrete. You can use something called concrete here. So too dense. Yep, that's the hatch, for example, for horizontal elements, whatever you think suitable. You can go ahead and hatch the elevation, but I don't advise. It's gonna look like very crowdy. And the last thing, maybe you add some dimension to make this look more professional. Always add one string from the beginning to the end. It's not really visible, so just modify that. DCO now. You can go to this, I don't know. See, nice and easy. Then copy that guy, and then move it to somewhere else, like, I don't know, it's look like crowd already. Now copy that guy again, probably without the cell, window cell, and then, I don't know, place it back in here somewhere. Just place that to give the height of the door. Something like that, and again another one, or the last one probably. So one for windows, one for doors, and one for the overall. So probably like that, and stretch it to give the ceiling height. Look like very simple, but you know, it's participate in enriching that document. Anyway, that's my section. I wish that you find this video useful. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye bye.